Welcome. This is a continuation of the presentation that we just finished, The Flowers of Immortality, exploring the body's inner landscape of chakras, deities, and cosmological powers. So we had so many really good questions come in, and obviously not enough time to discuss them. I thought that I would do some additional time, just offer some additional time here to cover these questions. And that will give us also the opportunity to refresh our memories about some of the important points and also to touch on some new points as well. All right, so I'm just going to jump right in and go through these questions. Some of these questions are very similar, and I'll just kind of group them together. So here's a good one to start with. Do biodynamic food practices and bioenergetic eating practices enhance the chakras? All right, very good question. Now, as you will remember from the presentation, we can say that there are basically two different systems. There is the modern system of what we could call biopsychology, and there is the classical system where we are using the chakras for basically internal alchemy. Now, that's going to be the basis of a lot of the answers, and that's also the beginning part of the answer to this as well. And we can include other questions that came, like how do I support my chakras? And what kind of practices affect the chakras? And this is specifically about food, bioenergetic eating practices. So this is about food and diet. Now, the answer to this is that the healthier we are, the more vitality that we have, the more vitality the prana body has also. Now, the prana body is the basis of the classical system. The inner work of visualizing the chakras, of activating the chakras, of doing rituals with the chakra deities and so on. As we discussed, it all happens in the interface between mind and matter. That is the prana body. And the prana body is also made of our breath and our chi and prana. And this body is a manifestation of our mental energy and our emotional energy and our physical energy all combined together. And so it's like our energetic body, the prana body. So the stronger the prana body is, the easier it is to meditate in a lot of ways. The more vitality that we have, the easier it is to be comfortable while we're sitting, to focus, to stay focused for longer periods of time. And so as a general answer, what I can say here is that all of the health practices, the healthy lifestyle practices that we know about, healthy eating, yoga, qigong, all of these kinds of things have always been used as support for the chakra practices. As a matter of fact, one of the basic reasons that yoga asanas were taught and practiced in the classical lineages is to make the body more comfortable, more flexible, more stable, more vital, so that the internal meditation practices can be done. So the answer is yes, all of the things that improve our health and vitality support our meditation practice. So this is also directly linked to qigong, martial arts. Everything that we see in classical Asian medicine is closely related to supporting spiritual practices. So the answer is absolutely. The healthier we are, the less obstacles we have to meditation. But at the same time, health is not directly equated to our ability to meditate, because there are many people who are expert meditators and accomplish a lot in terms of their internal practice, even though they have very poor health. And one of the examples of this that I have seen many times in my clinical practice is when people are not feeling well, it actually becomes an opportunity for deep body-based meditation, to be aware of what's happening in the body and to use pain in the body as a method of meditation that can help to cultivate equanimity. And this takes us to the broad subject of how illness can be brought into our spiritual practice. And it is known and has been known forever that if we can transform suffering into a spiritual practice, it actually improves the outcome. All right, excellent question, and thank you for that. And here is a very similar kind of question. How to support the fourth, fifth, and eighth chakras? All right, well, that's a question that came in a lot of different ways. And I will go back and refer to the two systems of the chakras. And I will say that depending on whether we are thinking of the chakras in terms of our contemporary Western teachings, which, as I have used the term many times, is really a system of biopsychology, then the answer to this, how to support our chakras, is completely different than if we are looking at it through the lens of the really ancient practices. So the answer, according to the contemporary system, is that we support all of our chakras by understanding their relationship to our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health. One of the things that we could use as a definition then of what is biopsychology, we could say that it is the interface between our physical health, mental health, and emotional health, and spiritual health as well. And therefore, if we are looking at a particular chakra and how to take care of it, then we are looking very much at some of the teachings from Ayurveda, for example, because in Ayurveda, the different chakras are linked to different physiological medical processes. So therefore, if we want to take care of our third chakra, solar plexus chakra, which is closely related to Agni, fire element, metabolism, digestive fire specifically, then we see that what we're really talking about is supporting digestion. And if we support digestion, then we're going to be supporting the third chakra. If we support sexual rejuvenation, sexual health, we're supporting the second chakra. If we're thinking in terms of fourth chakra, then we're talking about cardiac health. Sixth and seventh chakras, we're talking about brain and cognitive health. So we can start with the body then. We say, well, all right, if we're talking about a particular chakra, let's talk about how to take care of that part of the body that's associated with that chakra. But the chakras also have all of these emotional connotations and mental states and psychological states that are associated with them. And if we are using that model, then we would say the best way to take care of the chakras is to understand what those mental, emotional, and psychological issues are that might be blocked or affecting you or affecting us. And therefore, it may be that, a real common problem, PTSD. Well, PTSD could be associated with a number of chakras, but it would be better to start from the standpoint of the medical problem, the mental health issue, rather than saying, well, okay, we need to take care of this chakra to address the PTSD. We would say, well, let's address the PTSD. And that's going to take care of all the chakras. It's going to help relax the gut-brain axis. It's going to improve digestion. It's going to get the body out of fight or flight, which is very much associated with the lower Dantian, with the first chakra, fear responses, amygdala responses, things like that. My suggestion would be to start from the condition rather than start from the chakra. Although many times we can see close relationships between the chakra and that area of the body where there are medical issues. Now, if we put this in the context of the classical systems, then what we have is a completely different answer. How do we take care of these chakras? Well, this is based on a completely different assumption, which is not biopsychology. It's not based on the endocrine system. It's not based on the nervous system. Those things weren't even understood or recognized medically at that time. Instead, the concept is that the prana body is the container where we actually create the chakras with visualization. And so the answer then, how do we take care of a particular chakra, completely changes. And the answer is we bring it to life. We create it. We use the power of our attention, inwardly focused, as we did in the class, and we look into the fourth chakra, for example. And we meditate inwardly, and by directing the prana of attention inwardly, that part of the body actually begins to respond physiologically. And that means that we can add layers of different kinds of energies to create that chakra, to develop that chakra. We can add a visualization, as we did using a classical Tibetan letter in the heart chakra. We can add visualization of the chakra as a moon disk. We can add a mantra. We can put a deity in there as well. And the more we add these layers, the more the chakra develops. And the more we do it, the easier it gets. All right, I'm going to pause here. We'll do this in segments, and so we'll call this Section 1 of question and answer. Join me for the next one.